Morning, everybody. It's beginning a new day, day 3, and I have come to the conclusion that the race for time is a real thing. So we're going to kick right into it. This is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. What I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something I have traded for it. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price that I have paid for it. So, this is the first day out of 3 days that I've fallen short on my to-dos, and as I referenced early, time is of the essence. I was up till 12:30 last night, dinking around with stuff, and I didn't get my to-do done. I was going to post 2 products to the website. I got 1 done. The word I added for t-shirts was tenacious. So I got that on the website. I'm pretty proud about that. I really wanted 2 on there, though. I really have to start putting more products on the site faster because I've got about 150 words that I want on the website, and I'm sitting on about 30 right now. I got a long way to go. So continuous product development additions are going to be an important thing. I also wanted to think about putting together repurposing this video content for True Mydentity. And I think I've got a legitimate strategy. I think I'm going to go with the one that I started with originally, my first thoughts, which were use the positive word reflection segment of these videos for True Mydentity. I'll just cut that piece of the video out, figure out how to add a simple introduction, intro piece, and an outro piece, and use that on all of my True Mydentity pieces. And I had a couple people yesterday ask me, hey, why don't you just use the whole video? And the reality is, I don't think most people will want to hear me ramble on about my side hustle or business projects and to-dos, like things that I'm doing on an ongoing basis. So if you're listening to this, and I know I've only shared it with primarily friends and family, so I know you're doing it because you care and you want to know what I'm up to, and I appreciate that. As time goes on, I'm hoping that the audience will grow into similar people like me in this position who are trying to start a side hustle, thinking about starting a side hustle, want to at least do something above and beyond what they're already doing. So that's the intent. That's why I'm building these personal videos. But I also think there's a piece that I can use to just snip it out of this and use for True Mydentity and take advantage of the content that I'm building and just repurpose it. So I think that's the strategy I'm going to go with. So I did come to that conclusion, and that was after having a few conversations, really thinking about it. So I did finish that to-do, but I only got half of my other to-do done, so I was close. What did I learn from those things? Well, again, time is of the essence. So I've known this is going to be the ongoing challenge with trying to do a daily video update and work on a side hustle and be a family man and work a full-time job. Yesterday was the first day back to a full day of work, too, after having 2 weeks off to close out 2019. So it was back into real world, and I didn't get home from work until close to 6:30, and then we had to do dinner, and we had to hang out with the little man, and we had to put him to bed, and by the time I sat down to actually work on the side hustle again, it was 9 o'clock at night. And then I was dinking around. Sarah and I have to have a little catch-up time. So, yeah, I mean, time's a beast, man. If you're trying to get things done, time is definitely one that can get in the way and throw up some roadblocks sometimes. So yeah, ongoing, I think that's going to be a continuous thing that I'll probably chat about, maybe vent about a little bit. But that's the reality of the situation. I think that's why people don't do side hustles. That's probably a big reason why. I mean, it all comes down to time and money. If you don't have the money to do something, if you don't have the time to do something, more than likely you're not going to. And I'll tell you right now, I don't have a ton of money, and I don't have a lot of spare time. So I've come to the point where now I have to optimize the hell out of the time that I do have available, and I have to spend my money even more wisely than I was before, because I was a penny pincher before, so I can really take advantage of the little bit that I have. So that's why, again, why I'm trying to share this stuff. So enough of the rambling about that. What did I learn outside of time? I have some really good resources in my life through my business relationships and through my family and friends and all of their additional skill sets. So I talked about yesterday how important the network of people that I have is going to be in sustaining and growing. And I think because of the amount of talent and the amount of perspective that people can add to your life who actually give a shit and want to share it with you is so valuable. So without further ado, I had my first 2 sales yesterday to a couple of people, and the most important thing for me was the experience they had on the website. At least one of them got back to me and said the experience they had on the website was really smooth, it was good, it made a lot of sense. However, and this is why feedback from people that you know is so valuable, and you should always ask friends, family, coworkers, anybody who goes through it, if they're willing to give it to you, ask them what it was like. Holly Willis, thank you for your feedback. It was perfect because I didn't even think of it. I have on there that these t-shirts are for men and women. I do not have unisex. So she went through the ordering process and came to the point where she was looking to select if it was going to be a men's or a women's t-shirt. There is not that option because they're unisex t-shirts. I need to change my product description so people understand that it is a single t-shirt that fits both men and women. So I got to get that out there. I got to change all that stuff out. And I don't want to be causing confusion like that for my customers. So that was valuable feedback because I didn't even think of that. I figured men and women t-shirts for both men and women covered that, but it doesn't. It means there might be men's t-shirts and women's t-shirts. I didn't even think of that perspective. So there's your aha moment of a different perspective, and how valuable getting that from other people is when you're trying to build a business and running as fast as I am. You know, you don't catch all of those little things, and what you think might not be what somebody else is thinking. So very valuable feedback, and very grateful for both my cousin Brent and for Holly for placing those orders. I am officially on the board with orders in the books. So you guys were number 1 and number 2, and I can't thank you enough for that. I have almost reached my daily average needed to reach the goal. It's been 2 days since I introduced this to everybody, and I have 2 orders, and I have to average, I believe it was 1.09 t-shirts per day to reach that 400 t-shirt $10,000 goal by the end of the year. So I'm basically on track, and you guys helped me do that last night, so thank you so much. I think the other thing I wanted to cover was, now I'm blanking. Here's the value of doing video live. By the way, I'm going to be recording in my car every time I do this, and it's because I'm starting right away in the morning. It's the first thing I do. If I don't do it in the morning, it's not going to get done. And when I'm done, I go work out. Plus, it's a lot quieter for me to sit out here and talk to my phone than it is in the house where I have 2 sleeping family members. So, that's why I'm doing this. Even though it seems ridiculous, that's why I'm doing it. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I don't know why I thought that was so important to share, but now you know. Back on track. So that was my learning. Giving props to Holly and Brent. What's my to-do for this week? I will say, or this today. Today, my goal is to spend a little time trying to figure out Premiere Pro. It is an Adobe product that helps you work with video content. You can actually design stuff in it. You can clip and edit, and there's probably easier tools. I'll probably have to look at it, like Premiere Rush might be an option. Basically, I have to look at cutting this video content that I'm doing on a daily basis, taking out the part where I talk about the word, and using that for True Mydentity. So that's work above and beyond what I'm doing for my personal channel, which is just recording this video. So I'm recording these videos, and I'm not stopping, I'm not editing, and I'm putting them up on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and soon Instagram. But I found out Instagram has some parameters that I need to be aware of. So now I'll be able to, when I learn how to do it and do it effectively and present it nicely for my business, clip some of the video out about the words, and I'll be able to repurpose that in other stuff. So eventually I'll be putting that on True Mydentity's YouTube channel, sharing it on all the social channels for True Mydentity, and incorporating that probably into blog posts and ultimately creating a podcast. So if you're wondering why I'm trying to do all of this, is because content creation is going to be so valuable in carving out my online, basically my online world. So not only will I have a website, but I'll have all the primary social media channels with active information about True Mydentity and what it's all about and what we stand for. And basically that's how people shop these days, to really find out who you are and what you're about. And if I could provide them with valuable insider information or just entertainment value, that's going to mean a lot to somebody who's trying to pay attention to True Mydentity and may find those products to be something that they enjoy. So I need to repurpose the video content. That's my to-do. And I also am going to put 2 new products on my website tonight. I'm not going to stop until I get those done. So that'll be priority number 1, is 2 new products for sure. I got to keep adding products. Then I will be researching how to, I'm going to learn those applications. So Adobe Pro, or Adobe Premiere Rush, or Adobe Premiere, Adobe Premiere Rush. So I need to spend some time on that. I have a couple of people, Seth in particular, who knows it really, really well, who I work closely with, who said he would already help me with some of that. So that's very valuable. Thank you for that, Seth. So that being said, the word that I have for today is grateful, and it's because that's how I'm feeling right now. You guys have been, those who are following me and watching, commenting, giving me your feedback on things, actually purchasing products. I mean, you guys have been everything that I had hoped for in getting this rolled out, and I am extremely grateful for that. And I actually, Holly bought the t-shirt Grateful, and it really made me think about, what is it that a person like Holly would order that t-shirt for, and what kind of reflection will it help her with. And if you were to just stop for a moment and really think about everything you've been given, everything you own, everything you believe, pretty much everything in your life. The average American has a pretty good life compared to the rest of the world. So if there are moments where you're not feeling 100% and you're not liking what's going on, and the negative perspectives are creeping in, it's always a sound practice to just take a minute, take a deep breath, and just look around or think about anything outside of what's pissing you off, and just think of how grateful, or how, not even how grateful, just think of how blessed and positive things really are in your life outside of the thing that's pissing you off at that moment. Or pissing you off, scaring you, whatever's causing that negative emotion. Just if you're able to step back for a moment and just refocus, there's so much to be grateful for. People are a big one. Actually, having a home, a roof over your head, having a car to drive to work, having a job to pay for your bills, put food on your table, having, there's so many things. And if you just take time to reflect on it once in a while, it'll help you realize that, and not only how much around you should be grateful for, but like what's inside you, and what you can do with what you've been given. I mean, a lot of True Mydentity is to, really reflect on and appreciate who you are and what you're able to accomplish and what you're able to do. So a lot of the grateful emotions that I have is, that I'm doing things like this, and I'm taking care of my family because I have the ability to do that. So, reflect on how grateful you are for your own personal circumstance at this very moment. And I think that's all that I've got for today, guys. Thank you for letting me ramble, and, take a moment to be grateful today. You've got a lot of gifts going on, and, there are people looking out for you, and things are on the up and up. And if you are going through a tough time right now, keep your head up. Those tough times are inevitable throughout life. Keep your head up. Things will improve. And just take a moment to be grateful for the things that you have and the people in your life and what you've been given. And that's it. I'll see you again tomorrow.